When my grandfather, author and NRK journalist Jahn Otto Johansen, passed away in 2018, I decided to honor his memory by looking into the written legacy he left behind. My attention fell on his book Romania, written in 1980, and so began my journey to this country on the Black Sea coast. My name is Christoffer Baltazhar, and this is my journey to Romania. I've been living in Romania's capital city, Bucharest, for more than 5 years now. Looking back at it all, it is reasonable to suggest that destiny must have had a hand in it. I met my girlfriend here, and our daughter Lilia was born here, now almost 4 years old. So far, this country has never stopped to amaze me. You literally find native people of all colors and complexity here. Over and over again, I have thought to myself that this is one of the most inspiring reasons as to why I enjoy living in this country so much. Because of the diversity, as it is current and contemporary, but also attesting to the vast and rich past. You actually only need to look at a map of the world and it becomes evident why this land has always been a geopolitical hotspot and melting pot of cultures and traditions. The first day of filming in Timisoara. The streets, the buildings and the vibe are completely different from what I've been used to in Bucharest. Roaming through the squares, the wide boulevards, admiring the Art Nouveau architecture, discovering Timisoarans as calm and warm people. I found my way to the center of Timisoara, right in front of the opera house.
Beautiful square here.
Here I met up with Christian Rudik, the director of the Romanian opera in Timisoara. I've never talked to a real knight before. Christian is one since 2003, when he was awarded the Cultural Merit of Romania in the rank of knight. I did, however, trust my intuition before the meeting and came dressed like nobility, wearing the finest garments my suitcase had to offer. Christian is one of the most famous baritones in Romania and collaborated with orchestras from Austria, Germany, Spain and Japan. He's an imposing figure, a true baritone with a great sense of humor.
For me it's the Grand Zero, I call it the opera. They call it nowadays the Palace of Culture. You see in Timișoara the wonderful thing is the opera is facing the Orthodox Cathedral.
Yes, it's been
It's really
beautiful,
one of the holy places of the city.
yes.
Yeah, I'd say it probably arrogant that our stage is an altar too.
No, that's beautifully put.
Let's try to make a tour inside.
Yes, that would be great.
As you see, it's a normal theater in dark red and gold, and I just adore that.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
On the ceiling you see scenes from Romanian mythology and history. If you go in a country like in the States or in France, and you tell them your blood is Serb-German, but you have a Romanian passport, and you're born on the Hungarian border, he will understand nothing.
I see.
But you have to think that in this case history with geography moved borders in a generation, sometimes 3 times. The man in the street in Timișoara 50 years before, 40 years before, 30 years before spoke about 4 languages. I speak badly Hungarian, I speak German, I speak Romanian, but every native in Banat spoke 2-3. This very place is important not only for Timișoara, it's important not only for Romania, for Romanians, it's important for our sacred Europe.
They came here to kind of proclaim victory of...
It was not a victory, it was the beginning of the fight against the regime. They were here with the proclamation. And here was the crowd, and there were tanks.
Wow, tanks down here?
There are bullets there, still in the building.
Wow.
They are bullets.
Wow,
the other ones are repaired.
Yes.
But they are real bullets.
This is not part of the opera, but what do you see in front of us here? This is an installation for people can go upstairs.
This is built with the occasion of the cultural capital in Timișoara, and like all symbols, it has to speak for itself. I can't put it in words, but I hope one day it will be green and we will be happy. And you get tired until you get up. If you do that 4 times a day, you live longer, for sure.
Good point.
So it's healthy.
Good point.
You can't explore a city on an empty stomach, and with a recommendation by the air, I went down to Little Hanoi. This is the new multiculturalism of Timisoara. You won't easily find a Hungarian restaurant in the city, even if the largest ethnic community here is Hungarian. But genuine Vietnamese cuisine is not a problem. Thanks to the pair behind the authentic culinary experience, husband and wife Razvan Pata and Min, who was kind enough to dine with me. Razvan is an engineer from Timisoara who was sent by his company to Vietnam. There he met Min, whom he brought to Romania, where they got married.
He asked me what is my dream, and I told him that I would like to have one Vietnamese restaurant.
I also love to make food.
Yeah.
And I also love to make, I cannot call it Thai food or this food, but I love all the ingredients, you know, the galangal and the spices, the coriander and everything. It's always, you know, it's one of the most favorite kitchens for me in the world.
Have you tried pho soup before? Very famous.
No, I haven't.
Would you like to try?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Would you like some spicy?
Yes, please. Yes, I like spicy stuff.
Enjoy the meal. Would you like some lemon also?
Wow.
In Vietnam, we also serve with lemon.
Wow.
Yeah, in Vietnam we put a little bit lemon, like heavy breakfast.
For you it's heavy. The
Well,
bread
I
is not
guess
heavy.
it's not so heavy.
Bread and sausage and ham is not
egg
heavy.
and bacon and bread, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
heavy somehow. But,
From here, I went to get to know the small Jewish community in Timisoara. Luciana Friedman, president of the Jewish community of Timisoara, was waiting for us at the headquarters in the historic center of the city. She introduced us to the center's leisure room, where some of the Jewish veterans had gathered to socialize, and insisted I engage in a session of board game Scrabble with them.
Maghiară și germană. Hungarian and German.
Yes. You know, growing up with them and how Romania has changed today.
Copilăria dumneavoastră
Eu
aici.
sunt născut chiar în timpul bombardamentelor americanilor în Timișoara. În 10 iunie 1944, americanii au bombardat gara mare, fiindcă au fost vagoanele cu nemții care se trăgeau și trebuia să-i bombardeze. Am copilărit în cartierul evreiesc cu evrei, români, sârbi, bulgari, toate naționalitățile care au fost în Timișoara. Am avut ca copii, am fost împreună.
In Timișoara, in the center was a Romanian quarter with some very rich families of Jews. They had very beautiful houses, and they rent apartments and so on. It was very rich night life, you know. They go to opera, they go to the restaurant, they go everywhere. And my mother, she was frequented the club.
Yes?
Yes. And they spill roulette.
Like this.
Sweet and kind elders of the Jewish quarter greeted me into their prayer room, where to my utter delightful surprise I was offered a bottle of homemade tsuika, clandestinely so, right in front of the altar and the Holy Scrolls. If that was not a divine intervention, then I don't know.
Pune o sticlă așa, mă.
Foarte dulceață.
Finally, I was anointed a visit to the Citadel Synagogue, a newly restored marvel, and reopened both for prayers and for tourists.
Can you tell me? I see a lot of blue in, you know, the Jewish tradition in the flag, and what does the blue represent?
The blue is coming also on the flag. I think it's very much included in the praying shawl in talit. If you know, the Jewish men have a worshipping shawl
Yes.
called talit, and this has some blue lines on it. And also, you know, very connected with spirituality, with the sky.
We had to remake everything, actually.
From
at
the
this
patterns
floor.
and
Yes, we had
wow.
the patterns up,
How long have you been working on this?
In here,
Yeah.
in this particular area, from September.
Wow,
Just this area.
this is such a meticulous.
Yeah. This kind of a brush. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do.
Good luck on your great adventure here.
Thank you.
Great mission.
The day ended at the headquarters of the controversial artist Baraka. Here I discovered another world, an artist collective that resembles the squatters of Western European countries. Paul Baraka, the mastermind behind it all, is effectively living the life of an eccentric genius. The Baraka building where I visited is both the workshop and also his private quarters where he lives together with an army of parrots. His works, impossible to define in a specific box or frame of definition. It's pure madness and pure genius at the same time. Over the years, the Barakas have shocked at almost every public appearance.
Hey Paul,
Hey,
thank you so much for inviting you in here to your private quarters. I'm just blown away by being in here, looking in your studio, looking at all your art, the paintings, the sculpture, and oof, I have so many questions, but I know you're very busy, so I will try to keep it short. But maybe you can explain a little bit of what the meaning of your art is, the expression, the meaning of your expression.
eu consider că m-am născut într-o țară foarte religioasă și într-o familie poate și mai religioasă. Și de aici pornește de fapt întreaga sevă a artei mele. Sentimentul zădărniciei vieții însăși față de realitatea morții și față de realitatea singurătății cosmice decisive. De aici a apărut întreaga influență în arta mea.
How do you see yourself as an artist with your work and based on also the kind of meaning of your art?
A very hard question. Dar eu nu știu nimica despre piață, nu cunosc nimica despre vânzări. Eu trăiesc la limita existenței, cât mai pot să produc și după dacă cumva universul consideră că ceea ce fac eu este prea eretic pentru lumea asta și n-am să mai pot să fac, am să mă călugăresc și mă mut la muntele Athos. Vorbesc cât se poate de serios, deci nu... Dar în rest nu mă interesează galerii, nu mă interesează piață de artă, nu mă interesează absolut nimica în afară de ce se întâmplă în camera asta și un pic afară cât mai sculptez eu.
The next day, early in the morning, I met with Mayor Dominic Fritz. The first thing that struck me with Dominic was his young age. I somehow expected to meet an old man with a serious face and a seasoned belly, but realizing he was even younger than me immediately lowered the bar of nervousness. Dominic was born in Germany. He grew up in a fairly small village with his 7 siblings. His life took a turn at the age of 16 when he won a scholarship offered by the German parliament that would initiate him onto the path to later become a politician and ultimately an elected leader. Dominic Fritz arrived in Timisoara, Romania in 2003. Initially, he was a volunteer at the Center for Underprivileged Children of the Caritas Foundation. And since then, he has never wanted to return to Germany.
First of all, thank you for taking time in what must be a very busy schedule for you.
It is. And Timisoara is worth it to tell you a bit about our great city. What's important to know about Timisoara is that it has gone through all different kinds of rulers. Let's say we had over 100 years of Turkish occupation. It was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Since 1919, it's part of Romania. But throughout all these times, there was one thing that was constant. There was always a population made up of many different ethnicities that obviously have changed throughout the years, but that lived together in peace. mix of cultures and perspectives and architecture has always generated lots of new ideas. And so Timișoara was always a city that invented things, that was a little bit more courageous than others. We were one of the first cities in Europe that had electrical street lighting when the rest of Europe, they were all afraid that the city would explode. Timișoara said, let's do it. And I think because Timișoara has always been open to this kind of cultural exchange, it's really fitting that we are the European capital of culture this year. We can all share some common values and a common heritage, although we're very different. And obviously, you know, there's a huge difference between Norway and Romania. But then talking with you, we maybe discover, wow, here in Timișoara we discover there's lots of things that we have in common, and these things that we have in common can be called European.
My idea of the meeting was that we would walk randomly around town, but Mr. Fritz had planned it otherwise. And to my joyful surprise, we suddenly ended up at our intended destination, the Sai Cafe in the old town of Timișoara.
Vă întâlniți mai des în formula asta sau astăzi v-ați cunoscut și voi între voi?
Вы часто здесь встречаетесь, ну, в кафе в таком режиме, или вы только что познакомились здесь все? Fiecare săptămână.
You're all friends.
It is, after all, the 8th of May, and we were fortunate enough to be invited by a group of 40 Ukrainian women for a chat.
He is a journalist from Norway and making a movie about Timișoara.
Делает кино о Тимишоаре, фильм о Тимишоаре.
And especially about the different ethnic groups that live in Timișoara and cultures.
В частности, о разных этнических группах в Тимишоаре, которые...
So for Ukrainians coming to Romania, it's a neighboring country. It's the culture. It's similar for you, or
Культура кажется близкой?
Daily life.
Соседи или какие-то различия? Как вы чувствуете? There are a lot of people here from Odessa or area around Odessa, for example, and a lot of people from Moldova living in Odessa. So they know a lot about culture, about the food. Да.
И традиции, traditions. Сама архитектура Тимишоары очень напоминает Одессу.
And the architecture of Timisoara actually very much resembles Odessa somehow.
Oh yes?
Yeah, well, that's what they say.
Расскажите, о чем будет ваш фильм?
About what is your film actually?
Please.
The lady wants to.
It's very much about my journey to Romania in many ways. I live in Romania now for 5 years, and also my grandfather, he was a journalist. He was here in the 70s and 80s.
Он был здесь журналист.
He wrote a book on Romania in 1980. So he wrote this one. And I mean, it's Norwegian, but you see here some photos on how it was. No, he passed in 2018. So part of me coming to Romania also was I was investigating his, after he passed, I was starting to investigate his work a little bit.
Путешествие Кристофера, можно сказать, началось с того, что после его смерти он стал исследовать его работу, чем он занимался.
Well, thank you so much for meeting you.
It was a pleasure to meet you too.
Узнать о его интересном проекте. Будем с нетерпением ждать фильма.
Please.
Walking around in Timisoara is like going around the Eastern European Tower of Babel. You hear different languages, you see various historical and cultural places, and meet with people coming from all over the world.
I'm, curious about what other foreigners see about Romania. What made you come to Romania? Why?
Yeah. Actually, Romania, Timisoara city is very beautiful.
Yes.
A lot of beautiful space.
Yes.
And
tourist place
and beautiful church. This one.
Yes, yes. You come to Romania to work or to holiday or to work?
Work, but today is my holiday.
Very good.
That's
very
why
good. Nice.
outside.
So what do you work with, chef?
I'm a professional pizza chef.
Our planning stay in Timisoara. Inshallah.
Yes.
Yes.
To stay here. Yes.
Yes, stay here.
To meet
Romania's
a wife and
Romania's people, every people is very good. So I stay here.
Ah, good.
Everybody.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Yes, photo, yes.
Yes, photo.
Very nice.
And you have the opera and many buildings from Casa Brook. Yeah.
Timisoara.
Yeah.
It's a very nice tradition in Romania you have where you're celebrating the spring.
Yeah, the coming of spring. That's how we celebrate it. Yeah.
Maybe I can have a little daughter. She's 3 years old, and she's quite tall, so she's
Okay.
4 years old.
So you definitely need something for Ludic.
Wow, that looks really cool.
And
That's good.
yeah, they're made. The new collection is made together with an artist from a Romanian artist that lives in Berlin, and he made all the prints, the patterns.
This is very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
The colors are so bright.
And they come in many sizes. And
It's not serial. It's not produced in.
No, it's the opposite.
Yes.
And maybe the opposite of the mall. Of visits to the mall.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's refreshing.
Yeah.
I like.
Oh.
I like to avoid.
Nothing against the mall.
No, I know.
Friends,
Yes.
Maybe sometimes you need something else.
Yes, exactly.
I teamed up with Enisei Pisica, a Roma transgender artist. Passionate about theater and rap, he is involved in numerous civic activism projects for minority rights. He has graduated from the Faculty of Theater in Timisoara, writes poetry about his experiences and how he sees the world.
Sunt fericită așa cum sunt, îmi doresc să mă exprim și cam atât. Nu mi se pare greu. Ar fi fost greu dacă nu aș fi putut să ies din dulap, dacă aș fi avut părinți care nu m-ar fi acceptat. Dar atâta timp cât familia mea mă acceptă așa cum sunt, eu sunt fericit cu asta.
You being from here, you obviously your story, life story has a lot of I would imagine has a lot of value for others to learn from, yes? But it's still hard for you to get to perform it, huh?
Yep.
Bureaucracy. Why is it like this?
Cumva, mie, capitala culturală, ca artist rom transgender, nu mi-a oferit nimic. Dar nu sunt trist din cauza asta. Adică m-a afectat puțin, dar oricum visez la mai mult, știi? Simt că merit să fiu pe scenă, merit să lupt pentru dreptate. Și într-o zi poate se va face dreptate. Bănuiesc că ăsta e un proiect care...
But is it like a psychedelic forest with this? I don't know what's going on here. It's
Urmează un party de tech.
Da, yes. But that would be something, you know, it was
Cred că vor să promoveze chestia asta de natură.
Yeah.
Despre cum oamenii distrug pădurea. Poate asta vrea să fie.
Da.
Eram un copil inofensiv, acum mi-e sete. Mi-e sete, jur. Ce mi vine să înjur. Făcuți morții măt. Aproape începe ploaia, aproape le șarpele, îl văd când închid ploapele. Văd totul atât de clar, atât de limpede, nu mă lăsați.
After a break in the afternoon, catching my breath, the nighttime was set for a visit to the alternative bar, which turned out not only to be a bar, but also a theater and a museum.
Your place here, and it seems like the essence of culture here in Timisoara.
I'm glad that you call this place like being an essence. We never thought that it's an essence, but there are lots of people when speaking about it, when regarding about it, they are telling us that it's a bubble of Eastern Europe because it's like an intergalactic place where people from all over the world and not only this world are coming. We started back in 2005 with an independent theater called Aoleu, and back then we've been playing our shows in a small garage, 19 square meters, and a courtyard. And after 4 years, back in 2009, we moved here and we realized that we cannot keep an entire theater only with the theater, with the tickets, because we didn't used to work with state money. And we decided to open a cafe along with the theater, which after several years we realized that it was the best idea we could have. And afterwards, back in 2015, we decided to open the Museum of Communist Consumer. So there's a community between a bar where regular people are coming to have a cafe or whatever, a museum, which sounds like a very pretentious cultural institution, and also a theater. And for me, this is the coolest community possible regarding arts and culture in this Babylon town, Timișoara.
The Museum of the Communist Consumer is in 6th place of the TripAdvisor platform in the preferences of tourists coming to Timișoara.
The name of the museum, because it's called the Museum of Communist Consumer, and it's a little bit funny to call communist guys being consumers, because there was not so much stuff to consume.
I think one thing we got to know about communism in the West, in Norway, was, you know, okay, the oppression, you know, and the securitate and these things. But what I discovered that maybe most Norwegian is aware of is the products, like things that you didn't have access to them in the way we had some other freedom to it.
Yeah, because we were better in securitate than you. Yeah, the access was, it was not like this for all the period of the communist regime. It started in late 70s when Ceausescu wanted to pay the national debt, and that's the moment when average Romanians couldn't find in stores like milk and basic products or whatever. Yeah, because everything was for export.
Well, tell me the story about these fish. I heard they were very popular. Can I just bring one here? Can I take one and hold one?
Yes, of course. The coolest thing about them is that you cannot find two the same, because they were they were handmade, and let's call them the artisans which did them. Had this liberty of doing every model with different colors, and that's why they are cool, because they look alike but they're not the same.
But everybody had them.
Yes, everybody had them. Yes.
This was all made in Romania.
Yes. They're all Romanian products.
Must be such a paradox growing up in a country where you actually produce everything. You know, but still there's this limitation.
Yeah, but it's a it's a big discussion about producing everything. Ceausescu tried to do it. He said, from now on we will produce everything, from water to God. Imagine whatever. But of course it was not possible, because he tried to do it, but he was not prepared for it.
My grandfather, he wrote a book on Romania in 1980.
Okay.
So when I came to Romania, I kind of had it as it was a bit of a history book, you know, and I think if you write something about that Romania came, I think this was maybe in the 60s, 70s, that it came into a dilemma because the speed of the development in infrastructure, it was faster than like shall we say, the intellectual capital managed to maintain what was there, so they kind of crippled on themselves.
Yes, it was exactly like this, and it was about the quality of the products, because if you take a close look at this car, for example, you can see that they don't fit together. When we say communist, you all of a sudden you see red, you see a star and a hammer, and you know that it's an image. It's for 3 seconds. And afterwards you go down here and you see a telephone, some toys and whatever, and that image is it's blurring, it's disappearing.
It's like,
and it's not about I keep telling that it's not about politics. It's not related to politics. It's just related to a common memory that the ordinary people used to have.
The independent Aulau Theatre also operates here, and the stay at the alternative bar ended in front row seats at the evening's play. And even though I'm not quite fluent in Romanian yet, I enthusiastically enjoyed it, laughed a lot, and had a very good time during the evening's theatre play. Quite a few days have passed since I arrived in Timisoara. I'm saturated with impressions after days of meeting people, deepening my understanding of the multicultural symbiosis of the city, while all the time learning about the complex history of the city's past. It got me thinking about how my grandfather must have felt coming to Romania all of that time ago. What would he think about my trip? And how would he see Romania now, after more than 40 years since he was here? The Millennium Church was built to commemorate the 1000-year anniversary of the formation of the Hungarian state in 996, hence the name Millennium. The construction, in neo-Roman style, began on October 4th in 1896 and was finished in 1901. The project was carried out by the Hungarian architect Lajos Ybl.
The first time I entered into a worship place of the Catholic religion since his passing, and that just came back to me when I entered this space. He, when he passed, which kind of was I got to learn later was my starting point to come to here to Romania. He was buried in a Catholic church in Norway, and which is not typical for a Norwegian. I mean, it's typically Protestant. And I remember the ceremony for him. It was special for me. It was this flash of light that I caught somehow. And ever since his funeral, I had this kind of premonition that he's, behind the scenes a little bit somehow, or connected to my journey to Romania in a kind of mystical way somehow. And coming here today in this Catholic church here, and I kind of get this feeling over me again. That I wanted to maybe it's here a little bit, using the church as a conduit. So.
Let's not dwell solely on the past, and let's visit Suada and Edward Agaki, a couple clearly headed for stardom. Suada is a trainer and a personal development consultant, famous not only all over Romania, but also online with over 80,000 followers. Suada is Serbian, and her husband is a sailor, originally from Constanța, Romania.
I've been curious about the Serbian community here also in Romania and Timisoara.
Well, I grew up here in Timisoara. Mm-hmm. My mother is Serbian and my father is Romanian. And the most beautiful memories that I can have from this community, let's say, it's the music. Because I have this music in my blood.
This Serbian?
The Serbian music and the dances also. So the best memories that I have was when I was dancing. Always dancing the Serbian music. I'm a face reader, specialist in face reading for many years, and I wrote the book Face Reading Techniques that is unique in Romania, being written by a Romanian author. And also the tarot deck that I launched the last year. It's called Maktub Tarot, and it's not, let's say, to see the future, it's studying the symbolism. Tell me and choose from here the card that you love the most and one card that you don't like at all. Only looking at the images. You don't have to tell me why you don't like and why do you like. Only show me with your finger.
This I like.
So you like the Magician.
And this I don't like or don't respect.
The Devil.
Yes.
Good. The Magician, as the symbol, means that it's someone who likes to make heaven from what he has. Wow. The Devil card, if you don't like, the cards are not good or bad in the meaning, let's say. But if you don't like the Devil card, that means that you don't like the addiction. Because somehow you are afraid of something that can become bigger and bigger. Creating something from nothing can come and make you addicted. So in a point of your life, even if you love something, you will cut by yourself.
Wow, I'm just become silent. This is a lot of information. But I just want to end with something. Romanians seem very open to this information in general. Shall we call it the mystical dimension or the esoteric dimension? And what do you think? Is it true? Are Romanians open to this?
Yes, we are. Romanians are truly believers, and they are very religious in general. And I think this mindset can help people very much to search even outside the religion dogma or whatever they are.
Spiritual dimension.
Yes.
You came here in Timișoara to discover about, let's say, some roots from your family, and you are going back to the past. But don't forget to go back to the future.
That's very true. As we say also, this journey I'm on now also is connected to my past. My grandfather was a journalist and an author in Norway, and he was in Romania in the 70s and 80s, and he wrote a book on Romania. He told me very clearly in some kind of communication I had with him after he passed that don't go in my shoes. But okay, the path is there, kind of, it's laid a little bit, but go in your own shoes, in your own path.
The encounter with Agakis gave me a lot to digest, so I let myself loose and roamed around Timisoara's streets, contemplating the mystical side of life. Spirituality and religion is certainly alive in this part of the world. I had even heard rumors about an Arabic community in town and headed to Brankovano Street in Timisoara. Unmistakably, I recognized the heat and soul of the Arabic merchants and realized I was in the area of the city's bazaar. Here you can find senior Arab citizens who came to Timisoara during the communist period. One of them is a Syrian gentleman named Ziad El Mazalmeh, who invited me to an authentic Arabic coffee in the ASD Bazaar. He came to Romania in 1987 as a student. His wife is Romanian, and he's also the president of the Free Syria Association.
Well, how is it for you as a foreigner? I mean, not you're Romanian now, but how is it for you to live in this multicultural?
We live and have relation. It's very good relation with another culture. For example, in every day, special day for Christians, for Muslims, for Judah. It's very good here, and we participate with him
together. Yes. I can't wait to learn more about this also, because the way I also understand Romania is this fusion of all this culture, ethnicities, and also religion is nothing new for Romania. It goes back, I guess, also with the Arabic world from the Ottomans. For Norway, you know, it's a little bit new still, from maybe 1960s, 70s, where we started to have other cultures coming to us.
Look, in Romania, all the cultures is live together.
Sia insisted that I join him for a ride in his car to visit Timisoara's only mosque. I gracefully welcomed the invitation, as I had never had the opportunity to visit a mosque before. The most important prayer of the week takes place on Fridays from 1 p.m, exactly when we arrived. The mosque got packed full of people in matters of minutes after our arrival, a sign that the number of Muslims in Timisoara has grown in recent years. Growing up in the backdrop of a Christian society, I suffered the same ignorance as many of my peers, with an extremely limited awareness of Islam and Muslims. Observing the packed room of praying people, I realized they were all of different nations and skin color. It made me stop and think how much bigger and more complex the world is than I acknowledge. At the end, I got to meet with the Imam of Timisoara, the Egyptian Alim Swan.
So thank you, first of all, thank you so much for letting me participate in the ceremony. I don't know, I don't speak Arabic, but I can feel, I felt the energy in my body, and also maybe you can say, explain me a little bit about the role of the Imam in this community.
معلومات أو دراستي يعني دوري إن أنا أجمع الناس ونقدم المساعدة هكذا يأمرنا الدين شكليا.
The role of Imam here was to put together all the Muslims and to be very a good man. And the second role he want to say that if you want to integration in this community, in this country.
Thank you so much for accepting me, and I felt very welcome here.
Okay,
very welcome. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
As the prayer finished and all the people exited the building, I was greeted with handshakes, smiles, and a feeling of deep hospitality and respect. Maybe just because I was an obvious white blonde Scandinavian guy who decided to visit their sacred space. In the end, it was me who left with a great sense of humility and a warm smile on my face. I knew Timisoara had a special story, being the initial place where the insurgents began. The 1989 revolution, somehow shrouded in mystery and obscurity, is something I needed to learn more about. And my luck delivered again. I actually got to meet the person who started it all, involuntarily or not.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm Christopher.
Yes, I'm Ștefan Iordănescu.
Nice to meet you.
From Timișoara.
Stefan Iordănescu, a former theater director, fought for Romania's freedom in 1989, both in Timișoara and in the capital Bucharest. He was the one who actually started the revolution in Timișoara on the 15th of December 1989.
It started here because by mistake. I was here by mistake. I saw here on that entrance of the building, yes, the door of the building, one old guy kept by two strong people. Something very strange happened to me. I went to them and it was clear that they were from the security, you know, from the Securitate. It was clear. I know them,
yes,
how they looked. And I asked them, papers, give me the papers for the control.
You asked them?
Yes. I asked him, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Take my head in your mouth.
Oh yes, and you knocked him down?
Yes.
Wow.
All the people
around the 50-ish people around,
they enters in the fight too. On that moment I took my wife and told her, let's go quick.
Wow.
Let's go quick. So somebody phoned to me at home and told me, you know, it started at Turkish. In front of Turkish, a young guy or 17-olds start the fight with Securitate. That guy of 17 years old was me, but I was 31.
Yeah, it was the igniting point.
Igniting point.
And it was with your, are you hungry?
Yes.
Oh, that is
Are you hungry?
If that wasn't enough, Stefan decided to take the fight to Bucharest. He left on the 19th of December with a friend and took part in the Bucharest revolt.
This guy, Ioan Monoran, was one of the guys who stopped the trams.
For me, this city has an underlying spirit of revolution and art, and roaming around in the streets, it's impossible not to catch all the beautiful murals.
Hello, excuse me.
Hello.
You speak English?
Yes, yes.
Very good. Can you tell me who this artist, these murals are?
Yes, by mistake. It was me and some friends of mine.
Oh, yes? Hello.
Hello.
My name is Christopher.
Hello.
Hi. Lux. My name is Christopher.
He's also a graffiti artist, but here I work with some other friends. It was a joke about our politician, corrupt politician, but put upon a story, a traditional Romanian story. The goat, the goat with the three kids and the wolf comes.
Maybe you could tell me more about how the street culture here is, you know, with the work you do. Is it kind of, are you being accepted or is it...
Here is the city where I started to do street art and murals, being a student. So I'm a bit nostalgic as well. It was back in the days, it was a kicking city out of Romania with the graffiti scene and all this, electronic music, you know. The people from Bucharest were coming to see what's going on here because
yes, it was
it
really
was
kind
such
of
a
boiling
phenomenon.
here.
Exactly. It was the hotspot.
Nice.
So I guess Timișoara really has also this underground,
So this kind of
underground stuff,
counterculture underground kind of was booming here also, not just Bucharest. But
yes, but nowadays it's mainly in the mainstream. Like projects like this are made on European money, you know.
Wow.
It's like the column of Brâncuzi.
Yeah.
The infinite column, but he transformed it into Rubik's Cube. It's this combination between organic stuff, like the nature of wings that are completely organic, and the specific of the school that plays with robotics here and a lot of digital stuff. So it's like in the middle.
After meeting all of these wonderful and creative people of Timisoara, I got curious to know the persons who make it all work. The people behind the curtain who have worked so hard these past years to make sure Timisoara's artists get into the spotlight, Timisoara being the European capital of culture.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. My name is Christoffer.
Likewise, Alexandra.
Can you tell me a little bit what your role in this project is?
Well, I'm trying to manage one of the implementation structures.
So you're part of the administration of the project?
The one on behalf of the municipality. Then we are hosting the curatorial team that is in charge of the artistic coherence of the program.
I see.
We are in charge with the bigger representative events like the opening and the closing event.
This is a project that basically goes the whole year, is that correct? Or?
It goes the whole year and it has an even longer process.
yeah, for implementation
Exactly.
and the After Effects.
Exactly. Now it's only the celebration, you know.
Is this the kind of logo for the event?
Yes. I'm not the graphic designer of it, but of course it's you know, a message to step out from passivity and be a more proactive, you know, shine your light and light up your city. It's a message to every citizen to be part of, contribute, take a more active role.
Take a more active role. Get your city lit. These words stuck with me. Romanians love their markets, and Sunday is the best day to go to the flea market. We went to Mahala market, the biggest market in Timisoara.
And I was told that today there will visit around 9,000 people here. Quite impressive.
Here I met with the market director, which offered me a tour around the endless rows of various goods.
Acest business există aici de peste 30 de ani, poate chiar 40. Nu știu să dau toate detaliile, că nu eram pe aici. Oamenii vin aici, își vând mașini, unii își vând produse alimentare, alții își vând, eu știu, și haine, vechituri. It's dictator Romanian, Ceausescu.
He was always on the front page,
yes?
We know that.
Și văd că și mie mi se pare interesantă. Le cumpăr. Auzi, ci că se cumpără foarte multe din astea. Cât e una din asta?
But hey,
It's,
always interesting.
For you.
For me?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
No, noi plătim, dar e pentru tine.
Okay, thank you very much.
At the market, I met Corneliu Vaida, known in Timisoara for his civic spirit. He comes to every protest, being a true revolutionary spirit. He shed some more illuminating details about the intricacies of the revolution, and also how important the bootleg music market was during the regime.
I'm just looking for some records also if I can find something interesting, but unfortunately nothing to be bought and kept.
I see. But I noticed in Romania this market culture, this bazaar culture is
very much part of your...
It's our culture before the revolution of 89, because in that period, in this kind of markets, we could find anything what we couldn't find in shops or in.
I see in the communist.
Exactly,
time. See,
exactly. Timisoara, it was a multicultural city, and it still is. Mainly, everyone had a relative in Germany or in France or in USA, and they were sending coffee, soap, discs, you know. In Romania, we had the only bloody revolution from all the Eastern Europe. In no other country, there were victims. Only here. The revolution practically started in the 16th of December, 89, and we have been alone without any other approach from other cities quite a week, until in Bucharest they raised up and they kicked out Ceausescu.
I see, wow.
In 22 of December.
So it was just like a fire that started and just spread somehow eventually.
Yeah. Timisoara, we declared ourselves in 20 of December the first free of communist city of Romania.
Wow.
And Ceausescu was still in power in Bucharest in that time.
You can't go to the Mehala market and leave without eating some traditional Romanian mich. For the inexperienced ones, a mich can be described as a sausage without skin, like a traditional kebab, only without the spices. Typically made from pork and sheep, the best mich you'll find in town happens to be here at Mehala.
Trăim pe o zi pe alta. Ce să facem? De furat nu furăm.
Nu furăm?
Nu. Good. Vindem cine e o marfă, face o marfă. Sănătate.
My trip to Timișoara is coming to an end, but I could not leave before I had experienced the Adina Pintilia exhibition at the Kunsthal Bega Modern Art Gallery. Timișoara, being the European capital of culture, has its perks, as the exhibition has only previously been shown at the Venice Art Biennale. Strikingly enough, one of the main subjects of this project and exhibition is also Norwegian.
Okay, how do I do with my hands like this? No, go with the blue dots, just like look directly to the eye and focus on the eye. Okay, now they're close to you, right? Yeah. And you can try to touch them now. And when you manage to touch them, the screen is going to go black, and then you'll be embodying their body. Don't be afraid to try and move around. That was again a body experience somehow. And that surprised me a lot. To
other people that stayed longer, like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, you didn't stay that long. But other people that stayed longer actually kind of started feeling different things. Like they could feel their body. Like some guy told me that he kind of felt the breasts when he was inside in a woman's body. He kind of felt everything, like it wasn't there, but it could feel. It's weird how what the brain can do.
There's this feeling of compassion, kind of. I mean, it's very raw, but at the same time, this feeling of compassion comes, or
because they let you in, as you see that when you got in the room, all the characters were fixing you with their stare, so they were looking at you intensely. So it's like you have to be watched to be able to watch them.
Yeah.
So they're letting you inside their intimacy, and they're letting you inside their life and seeing them vulnerable. So then you should be at least a bit vulnerable when you enter.
So inspiring.
You may wonder why I, a Norwegian, came to cherish Romania so much and eventually settled down here. Ever since I was just a child, I was curious about the world. It must have been fate guiding me to that choice, because discovering Timișoara and Romania has been one of the biggest revelations of my life.
Let's check on the black sheep of the family. It's coming from another country, another culture, and then just realizing your dream.